We live in a very competitive business environment in basically every industry sector that I know of and studied over time. And thus, one of the keys to success as a leader in setting strategy and implementing is anticipating and potentially shaping the competitive reactions of others. Now, oftentimes I've worked with leaders in organizations and they say their competitors are irrational, they do crazy stuff. It's not worthwhile spending the time to try to analyze their incentives and what they might do next and how they might react to what we do, because the answer is just who knows. They're crazy. They're always creating these price wars and things that don't make any sense. And what my research in consulting and teaching has shown over time is that there's an irrational tendency to assume that others are irrational. And usually when someone says that a competitor is acting irrationally, what they're saying is, that's something that we would never do. Our organization would never do that. That's crazy. But the basic point is that that organization isn't you. It has different assets, resources, histories. It's led with different people who have different objectives and maybe different incentives, and something that may be perfectly rational for that competitor, you see as irrational. And so the key to truly understanding competitor behavior and thus making the right strategic choices yourself and leading effectively in a competitive environment is getting to know your competitors deeply and not taking the lazy way of basically saying, that's just irrational. You can't last long as a business leader if your actions are always irrational. There's usually just some logic that you haven't figured out yet that's driving the way they compete. And once you figure that out, you'll be better positioned to effectively compete against that competitor.